So here we are, day two. It's nearly 2 a.m. here in Paris, and I have almost missed the day of uploading content. And I learned today about myself that time management is a huge issue for me. So I've deleted all the games off my phone to focus more on creating this content. And what else did I do? I also just realized where there's huge holes in my day that I can rearrange what is important. But let's dive in today and talk about XRP. So yesterday we kind of talked about why I chose XRP, but today we're going to actually talk about what is XRP. What is the problem that XRP is solving? And so when people ask me what XRP is, my go to answer for so long has been that it's fast, it moves money for fractions of a penny, and it helps banks move money cross border. Simple enough, but honestly, that answer doesn't even begin to touch what I'm discovering about XRP, what I'm learning, what I'm diving in deeper, because XRP isn't just a coin, it's actually a ledger. It is a network. And if you zoom out enough, um, it is quite revolutionary in how the financial system could actually work in the future, which I think is so cool. Um, so when I say ledger or the XRP ledger, it is decentralized public blockchain built for speed, low cost, and reliability. It's a native token. XRP is used to settle and record financial transactions on the ledger. And when I say ledger, what I mean, it's like a Google spreadsheet that's available for anyone that has access to it. Anyone has access to it. And it updates in real time the information that is inputted on it. And it solves the problem of double spending, which happens in banking systems. It also offers transparency. It also updates in real times, and it also has the capability of being audited in real time. So in the current world we live in, this is kind of random but separate, but I just want to kind of bring this full circle. We can now send a text message literally instantaneously across the globe. But the question I have, and I think the question that Ripple and XRP are answering, is why can't we do the same thing with money? You can't just send $10,000 the same way that you send a text message. That's the problem that XRP is solving. And to break it down super simple, the XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, is like a shared public database, which is kind of what I touched on before, that keeps track of accounts, balances, and trades. Instead of one person, like a bank or institution, controlling the information, thousands of computers reach consensus on what is true. Anyone can become a validator to verify what is true, but each participant or client who is uses the network can choose who they trust, creating a secure and flexible network. Ripple, the company, doesn't actually control the ledger. They publish recommended validator lists, but anyone can run a node on the ledger. How does this compare to the old system? The old system uses something called Swift. You might be aware of this, but this system is used by most banks around the globe today. And what is Swift actually? Swift is like an email system for banks. It sends messages like, for instance, James, me, wants to send $5,000 from Bank A in the US to Bank B in France. That's it. Swift doesn't move the money, it just sends the message. Then banks move the money separately, often through multiple middlemen. Every step that is along the way adds time, delays, and fees. Messages go bank to bank, often through correspondent banks in the middle. It can take days for money to arrive into the accounts needed, and it's also not transparent. So you can't always see where your money is along the route or where it's stuck or what is happening. This is where XRP comes into play, and this is the solution that XRP offers. With XRPL, there's no middleman at all. Transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, which is super quick. Fees are fractions of a penny. This is super important as we'll go into later, but like right now to move money with like Western Union or other payment systems, people are paying tons of fees in order to move these payments. And if you're a huge bank, maybe it's not that big a deal. You can add it in, have the clients pay for it later. It creates the world of finance that we live in. But if you are a person who is has moved from your home country of origin and is working in another maybe Western civilization and you want to send money back to your family back home, these fees can make a huge difference in the quality of life that's available for those that you're sending money to. Also, with the XRPL ledger, everything is public and an audible and is able to be audited in real time. This is something we've never experienced. It's like going from using the postal service to send mail to real time payments over the internet. Why this isn't just fast, it's also smart. What most people miss within this entire understanding is this isn't just about speed and low fees, which I was one of those people that did think it was just about speed and low fees. It's also about trust. And even deeper than that, it's about audibility, the ability to audit within companies. David Schwartz, who is the CTO of Ripple, put it like this recently in an interview. It might sound dumb, but the reason hundreds of billions of dollars are going to move onto the public ledger, like XRP ledger, is because of audibility. And I think he's right. And here's why I believe it matters. Let's take a company like BlackRock, one of the largest asset managers on earth. Every year, audit firms like PwC and Deloitte come in to manage and look over the trillions of dollars of funds that BlackRock manages. But here's the thing, BlackRock doesn't hand over their spreadsheets to these companies. They rely on third party custodians like BNY Mellon or State Street to vouch for their data. If the custodian messes up, BlackRock takes a hit. If regulators want to check in real time, they can't. It's all hidden in private databases and delayed documents. So any audit process would take weeks, if not months, or even years to go through. Now watch what happens as we talk about the XRPL ledger. Imagine BlackRock, in the same instance, records all of its assets on the XRPL ledger. Every transaction is visible, verifiable, and permanent. Auditors don't wait. They check the ledger. You can even prove what's not true. This action of proving what is not true is called proof of absence. And it's almost impossible in traditional systems to verify this. With XRPL Ledger, it's trivial. Just check the blockchain. Why I think this is a big deal. This is a huge shift for not only financial systems, but I believe the world. From private spreadsheets to public ledgers, making auditing, compliance, and transparency real time and effortless. It could unlock hundreds of billions in tokenized real world assets, not because it's sexy, but because it makes the boring stuff like audits, payments, and record keeping radically better. And a quick note on validators that I talked about earlier. People often ask, if anyone can be a validator, how do you trust the network? Here's how. You choose your own unique node list, or UNL, a list of validators that you trust. These can be universities, institutions, banks that over years have established a trustworthy relationships with their clients. And so as these clients see these names, they automatically gravitate towards them. Ripple also will publish and is publishing a recommended list of those that are trustworthy as well. But you don't have to follow the list. Validators on the ledger don't earn mining rewards, so there's no incentive to cheat. And institutions can't just pick and choose what to approve. The rules are baked into the protocol. So you must follow the rules in order to be a part of the protocol. Otherwise, you get kicked out. The structure keeps XRPL neutral, open, and resilient. And here's another personal take of mine. Ripple has been in many year long lawsuit with the SEC within the United States governmental system. The SEC is the Security and Exchange Commission. And what was happening wasn't just about legality. I always thought, why is Ripple fighting so hard to prove that what they're selling isn't a security? I actually think Ripple was up to something much more than just winning this lawsuit. What I think they were seeking was regulation and clarity about crypto as a whole. Because once clarity comes, banks, institutions, and regulators will need a baseline that they can trust, not just hype. And XRP Ledger is designed to provide just that. So, what is XRP really? It's not just fast, it's not just cheap, it's an infrastructure for a financial system that's programmable, auditable, and actually works at the internet of speed. And if I'm right about this, then XRP isn't just a coin, it's the plumbing that powers the shift from legacy finance to something radically better and different. And that's what I'll keep exploring with you in episode 3. So I invite you back as we continue to dive in, as we continue to up level this information. And I hope you're taking many beautiful things from this. And talk to you soon.